G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. Today I've got another little project or a couple of projects, especially for you new beginners to do bonsai. Now, junipers are one of the most popular species to use for bonsai, especially when starting out. Obviously for really good reasons. The foliage is compact, the foliage is easy to manipulate, create branches and pads and so on. And they grow pretty well, and they're pretty resistant to most things, and they're pretty easy to adapt to the techniques we use. They seem to be okay with bending and moving branches around, repotting, cutting the foliage at the right time if you time it all right. So they respond really well. But it's also important to actually create some interesting trees out of them. And I'm all into being creative with these junipers. I really don't like junipers being very straight and upright. It's just my preference. I do have a couple of them, surprisingly, but they're much bigger, older trees, so it doesn't look as bad. But the younger material, I've been developing a lot of the young material for about 15 years now, because there hasn't been much in Melbourne, especially of shimpaku junipers, to be able to work with. So over the last 15 years, I've been air layering a lot of new trees from older trees. So I got lucky finding a couple of older trees that I've had from nursery stock that I've been just air layering. And these are the result. These are the 5 youngish trees. They're youngish from a point of view that they've been air laid off a parent tree. A couple of them have had some wiring done to the lower base, but the others haven't really had anything, just been air laid off, had a couple of years to recover, and now they're ready for some sort of interest in styling. So that's me talking. Let's get into what we're going to do with some of these trees, and let's look at individual trees and how we go about styling them, especially getting the right start for these trees, especially. So let's pick one and let's work on it. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. This isn't too bad of a little shimpaku. It's actually got a nice nabari or root base. Probably the main issue is there's no branching along here, no branching along here. So really we need to be creative and figure out some way to create this into something interesting. Now, a lot of people when they start out, they do this, wire it up and then go, there's a branch, oh, that's my bonsai. Look at that. It's just so nice. But it's very young looking, okay? So bonsai is all about creating age and the appearance of age. So having that is not a old tree to me. It's a very young tree. Even if you wire the branches out, it's quite young and uninteresting. Personally, I like to be imaginative and creative and create a miniature tree out of this. Now, if you bend and twist this in place, create it small and then let it grow out for another 2-3 years, it'll thicken up and it'll be a small tree this big with lots of nice twisting branches and interest, and the foliage is nice and compact. That's the other thing. The foliage is way out on the end, so it'll never be a convincing tree. So first things first is I'm going to put a wire on this tree, and I'll come back and show you how I twist it into place. So just usually with the wiring, I put a reasonably thick aluminium wire, almost the same thickness as the trunk, and I coil it quite nice and tight, and you'll see that result in a minute. So I've just put a couple of gauges of wire on this branch and a couple of smaller ones on these just 2 branches on either piece on this side. The issue is there's 3 that come out of one spot, so a branch that comes out of one spot, so I'm going to remove that one. And this one is also coming out of the same spot. I removed that one because it's very long and leggy and the foliage is on the end, so I'm just going to get rid of those 2 for now. So now, as I said to you, some people will style it up like this and create a tree and they go, that's a bonsai. Yep. Some people might like that, but to create a real old tree, you need to be creative and think, what am I going to do? How can I maneuver this and make it interesting? So you've got to make this tree shorter for starters. So I'm just testing out the flex in these branches and seeing how much I can maneuver eventually. So my thinking is a small tree, semi-cascade kind of look. Maybe this becomes the apex and this is the actual cascade branch. Let's have a look if we can do something with it. And so we've actually been able to create a little semi-cascade tree. Now, I'm going to do a bit of fine wiring and clean up some of the foliage, make it look really pretty for you, but that's the idea. Once you get the main trunks in place, and doesn't that look much older, hanging off the side of a mountain, cascading down a mountain, looking that kind of look. That's the whole idea. So be creative with your thinking and the way you're styling these trees, because now if this grows in place, in 20 years' time, if you keep feeding and looking after this tree, the double the thickness in trunk, look much older, but it'll still be that size. It'll still be that small, but thicker and older, more foliage, pad development, and it'll look really good. So I'm going to clean this up, wire a couple more, and I'll show you the final product, and then we've got 4 more to do. So here is the kind of final initial styling on it. Trying to put a lot of things in place. I think this just popped up a little. Reduced a little bit of length everywhere just to keep it more compact, but you can see the nice, natural flow of the tree. See how the wiring's all been done, and just a nice little tree now. Like from what it was, this looks old now, and interesting. And you could put in a bonsai pot and enjoy it just as it is, or you grow it on a few more years and really let it fill out and get thicken up. So really nice options now for this tree rather than 2 little sticks going up in the air. Looks old, cascading down a mountain. You see my idea. All right, that's tree number 1. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe we'll give this one a go. This is a bit different. It's got a small tree down here. It's got a long one down here, up here. It's a bit different. Maybe it's about the same actually. It's probably all the same, but this one seems to have a longer trunk. So, and a little tree here. Maybe we can do some sort of twin trunk, maybe a twin trunk idea. So again, wide, the main branches, not everything, a couple of little things have them wide. These are all about imagination and being creative. There's a little section here in the trunk that's a little bit thick. I'm not going to be able to bend that, but I'm going to try and enhance maybe some of this area. So I'm going to try and bend this around. I do want to try and think about creating more of a twin trunk, as I mentioned to you guys a little bit earlier. I'm just going to move that guy out of the way. So I've roughly put everything into place. So you can see main tree and a smaller tree in here. A lot better than what it was before, a lot more interesting. Just going to go and clean up all the foliage now and look and see what it's going to be like. All right, so this is how the twin trunks come out. Nice and simple, very cute little tree now. Could be in a bonsai pot and someone can grow it on into a nice little tree. It's actually got all the structure, all the branches are in place. All the branches are twisted in the same kind of interesting direction as the trunk, so you can't have straight branches, as I keep saying. Nice and all twisted all around. So that's a nice little tree. I'll try and give you a background shot with that. It's kind of pretty cute, that one. I like it. Nice little smaller tree in here, larger tree in here, and comes up really good. So you see what the process is. That was a very ordinary tree before, but now it looks really nice, I think, anyway. All right, we'll keep going, rinse and repeat. So let's go this one. This one's a bit more tricky because this one, have a look, so long, such a big, huge, long branch. But if you can see in here, I've already actually done some work on it in the past. So this has had some pre-wiring done, pre-twisting up and so on. So it's going to be a fun little test, this one, see what we can do with maybe this huge branch over here and this smaller one. So really is a bit of a wild guess in what we're going to do. So I've wired up the main branches on this tree, the smaller one and the larger ones. the two large ones. I left the small one here alone, just in case something happens to these. And can imagine I break it, unless I got the little one here to have a look. Now, both sides have good options for fronts, so I'm not even sure where that's looking at the moment, but we'll have a look. I do want to try and contort this first before I worry about this one. So I'm just going to wire this kind of out of the way, so it's a bit out of the way. Possibly, not even sure, maybe a little upright with another twin trunk maybe. We'll see, or this could be a branch here, and then this is the top tree. So I'm going to just slowly see if I can crank this. I've got to get this. This is very straight. It's all very straight, especially this bit here. So if I can't really get that bent and really contorted, then there's not much point having this tree. So slowly, always checking that I haven't snapped anything, of course. Basic structures set. So all those huge branches are now really been contorted into a small tree. I will reduce a lot of the branching, wire up some of the smaller stuff, and make it look pretty cool and very nice. So that's going to take me a while, so I'm not going to video that. So we'll come back and show you the final product. But you get what I tried to do, like incorporated both branches, easily put one out here, contorted one back and put it on top of it, and then use this as the main side branch. So maybe the direction of the tree will be this way, short here, long here, something a bit more interesting. So let's have a look at what it looks like once I'm done. Okay, so this one probably turned out the best. Really nice little tree now, great little future. Saw the movement, the twists and turns, looks really good. I use that as the main, like a lower, first main branch, and I've really twisted it up nicely. Everything else is really twisted and wired up. So really nice little one. This one came out. This is probably the pick of the bunch so far. Just nice to see seeing the bends and twists and having a look, nice close look. So we've got 3 done now. So we're up to the last 2. So they're going to be pretty much same as previously, just might be slightly different. This is like got 3 branches growing up, or 3 trunks. This has also got 3 trunks, but the main one's off to the side, so it could be a little different. Let's have a crack at this big one. This is a bit older. It looked like it actually had an airlaid branch off it here at some stage. So it's got a bit more probably age and thickness in the base. If I clear out some of the topsoil, I can definitely see a nice thumb size trunk in the bottom in there. Hard to see. So a bit more of an older tree. So we'll see how we go with that. And this is a bit more younger, probably like the first one. So let's have a crack at this one now. Again, I'm just going to apply wire to all 3 trunks at the moment. We'll see. There's 3 trunks pretty much coming from the base. So that's probably the interest with this tree. 3 trunks at the base. Nice, interesting tree. This is a bit spindly and weak. This is nice and healthy, and this is very healthy and very big. So nice, big, thick wire on this one. Feeling the bend. See how they're quite flexible. Nice and flexible. So I'm just going to put wire on it, as I always do, and then I'll come and bend it, and you guys can see what I do. So let's go with tree number 4 in terms of wiring. I've chosen this as the front because the actual cut-off trunk is at the back. I don't think it'll look good in the future, so I've wired the main branches in this direction, so that means I can bring them around this way, which is what I'm thinking I will twist and do. So just to line it up back on my side, I'm thinking it might be another, could be another small, this could be a side branch, this will just be the apex, so maybe something going in that direction. I could go the other way and put a semi-cascade, but I think I'm going to avoid that in this one. This little branch here, I'm probably going to remove. I just don't think it's going to work where it is right now. The possibility is it's got a couple of roots growing off it, so I might be able to cut it off and leave some roots on so I can grow it as an individual tree. So that's the option at the moment. I don't think it's going to work in this configuration, so I will remove anyway, but just want to make sure. So I just cut it off, and I can feel it's got roots around it, so I'm just going to dig it out slowly. hopefully get some of the roots with it. So there you go. So it actually grew roots from lower down, so that's good. I'm just going to put that in a bit of soil. Alright, so here we've got how it's come up, a nice little semi-cascade, really good little one actually. It's got a nice fat base, that big right at the base, and two of the branches now come up to create the cascade. So a really nice little tree there. A couple of years to recover, then into a bonsai pot, pretty easy. The tree will nicely flush out, lots of growth, and really that's it. Keep it in this beautiful little shape. It's nice shape, small apex, which is good. Usually when you do these trees, the longer branch is the cascade and the shorter branch is the apex. In this case, it actually worked out the other way. So I had the long branch become the apex and the smaller one the cascade, making it nice and small and compact, which is interesting. So if we use the long branch, it might have been too long of a cascade. In this case, it's a nice, small, compact cascade. All right, so tree number 4 done. Now let's just quickly have a quick look at number 5. Again, probably this is close to the one we did at the start, the first tree. 2 main branches. We'll probably keep both and probably use that one as well, but they're a bit small, a bit skinnier, this tree. Definitely very flexible, so I can do whatever I want to it. So really just apply wire and we'll bend it up. All right, so why the branches up? Why the main 2 big ones and the small one? A little bit baffled again. What am I going to do with this? But let's give it a go. I'm thinking I want to somehow create a small tree, a very, very small one with this. So it's quite leggy at the moment. So I really want to see if I can really get it nice and contorted and twisted. Now, the one thing I haven't shown in these recent 5 little shimpakus is I haven't created any deadwood. So the reason I haven't created any deadwood is the trunks and branches aren't thick enough to create something that's actually quite substantial and nice and you can see it well. So the other plan is, if you grow these trees, grow them on for a while, you can twist them up and bend them and grow them, and then that whole branch, you can, once it's thick enough, you can actually gin it off and make shari and so on. So I didn't really mention that before, but that's why I haven't done it with these. They're a bit too small. But let's go. I'm going to try and make a really small tree. So let's see what we can do in creating a really small tree. So what I've done initially is really contort the whole tree, and you can see how nice and tight it is now. I do have to do a bit of wiring and so on. So something that's really wild is now going to be a very small tree, like this small, hopefully. Really nice compact tree. I had to raise the soil level because I had to drop this branch down a bit. All I did was take this out of the pot and put another layer of soil at the bottom, and so to raise up the actual the height of the Nabari where it is, so I can actually have a lower branch right here, because a smaller tree needs some low branches to really give it nice shape. So what I'm just going to do now is finish off wiring, of course, pruning and trimming back. There's a couple of long ones I've got to wire up and contort, but that's really it. But then clean up. This is going to be nice and short, a very quick process of doing this now. So that's pretty much it. And then I'll show you all the 5 trees that I've created. And these are lovely little now minis. So I'll give you a final run through once I'm done. So this is the last tree. Came up really nice, little mini demo, mini shimpaku. I really contorted that main long branch into this first branch here, and use the second branch to really bend it right around and use the smaller branches to bring right around. So now I'll come in and show you, see how it's all snaked around and so on. You can't even tell from this angle how it looks. Just eventually this will must be padded out with foliage, or the foliage will fill all the gaps in, and then you don't even see all those twists. All the foliage will be nicely filling out, creating little layers everywhere, nice and compact and beautiful little shimpaku. So that's how this one turned out. I think this came up really well. Let's have a look at all the others. Last recap. This is the first tree that I did, the cascading kind of one. 2 long branches again. The longer one made the cascade, the smaller one made the apex. In a few years' time, this will be nice. Tree number 2 was, I think, the twin trunk. the mother, daughter, father, son, whatever they call them. It's a little tree here, the bigger tree here. In the future, this tree is going to look really nice because the bends are nice in this tree. It's very subtle but nice, and the foliage will fill out really well, creating a nice apical effect, a nice padding effect as it grows. So this will be a nice tree. This tree came up better than expected. It's a bit thicker and a bit thicker and harder to bend and so on, but we really got a good little twin trunk or semi-cascade. The smaller branch became a cascade, the larger one became the apex, which is very different to normal. Usually it's the other way around. So this is potentially a really good tree too. It's older, thicker, and will be a really nice tree too. My favorite was this one. I think this came up absolutely beautiful little tree. Nice little, shimpaku, nice wide first branch, a couple of nice big branches. I used the trunk to make a branch out here. Really nice and compact, smaller tree. This was huge. And now it's all nice and contorted. You can see in there really looking good. So this is a couple of years in a bonsai pot and look really nice. Beautiful. And I think the last one came up pretty good too. I did want to create a little mini and it came up really nice. So nice little mini there as well. So pretty happy with the results. Now you remember how they're all really massive, long whips pretty much. Young material that I've air laid off over the years. Now it's a matter of getting them healthy, getting them strong fed, sun, all that kind of stuff, water. Just keep them growing, so on. They'll fill out nicely, pad up nicely, and be really good. So I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration that I showed you. Anyone can do it. It's not that hard, guys. Just thick wire, have a bit of imagination, and make sure when you wire it, it's nice and close. You've got to have thick enough wire, though, to wire it. So almost think about almost the same thickness as the branch you're wiring. That's what you got to think about. And use aluminium, because copper, I can't get those bends in copper like that. The other thing is, if you're in Melbourne, I am doing a demonstration similar to this live at Melbourne at Bonsai Northwest, my own club, in March 2024. So the first Monday of the month, I think it's, I can't remember which day it is. It is probably 3rd or 4th, something like that. First Monday in the month, I'll be at Bonsai Northwest and my own club doing a demonstration on these live in person. So you can see it's actually, I really do it. It's not like magic. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more. See you next time.